Good. Now let's get started with trading in the decentralized exchange of Bitshares. I have talked about setting up the Clee wallet last time. I'll give you a quick recap of how that works. Let me, if you like. So essentially, what you do is you go into the browser, into the console, and type whatever directory your Bitshares stuff is located in. And then you open up a Clee wallet like this. Programs, Clee wallet. You provide a server RPC endpoint. That would be, for instance, one from OpenLedger. .info/vs, and what we also need is a HTTP endpoint. That is essentially the port and this the IP where we open up a port locally, for instance, like this. If you execute this, you will get a terminal for the wallet, and it will look like this. Let me show you quickly. It will look like, where is it? Oh, here. So this is how it looks like, and in order for trading, we first need to import a private key. Importing private keys works very easy, like import key all the way around, import key. Then we need the account name and the volume import format private key. That's about everything we need. And we can get this key. I can show you that as well. Let's try another screen share here. Oh, entire screen. That looks great. Okay, does that work? Okay, so we have here on the right side of the screen, you see a preferred wallet, and if you go there to the permissions page, you see the active permissions key, and all you need is the private key to this public key over here. You click on it, you type show, and then you provide the password, and it will give you the with private key for that account. I'm obviously not going to do that over here now. Okay, so that's about it. We have this account over here, and let's get started with interfacing with the Clee. It looks like, where am I? Many windows open. Okay, so currently our text file here is still empty. It's not bad. We need to provide some modules first, and what we do is we load the Graphene Exchange and import Graphene Exchange. Now we define a configuration class. I usually call it config or config, whatever you want. And in here we provide, first of all, a access point, the host of the wallet. So over here it's local host. The port is 8092. That's something we defined previously. Then we also need a witness address. We can use anything, for instance, again, this OpenLedger stuff. If you want to do more aggressive trading, it makes sense to run your own witness node. For performance reasons, OpenLedger is pretty much used already. Okay. Let me see. Do I need something else? Yes, I need something else, and that is watch markets. These are the markets that we are interested in. Markets are two assets are separated by a separator. And we call this a separator, and then we can take a look at USD BTS, for instance. To be clear, in our system here, or in my library, markets are always defined in quote against base. This is a market, and prices. Actually, so now if you sell something, you sell quote, and if you buy something, you buy quote, and the price is defined as base via quote. We will see later why that makes sense. So that is market, and we trade quote. Okay. Then we have an account that we want to use for trading. Here it's live coding, because we have that installed in the keyboard. Okay, let's get a DEX object that looks like this. Graphene Exchange, oops, and Exchange, and we provide the config class. There's another parameter we can add, and that is safe mode. I think it's by default it's true, so the Graphene Exchange doesn't really do anything unless you set this very flag here to false. Okay, let's import another module here. Pprint import pprint just for X. Okay. What we now do is we take a look at the. Let's take the ticker. We do dex dot return ticker, and that's about it. Makes some sense here, of course. Okay, and we execute this, and that is a ticker for our market, USD against BTS. The volume in base, the core exchange rate, highest bid, lowest ask, percentage change. Those numbers are a little off simply because the last trade is a little, I think it seems to be older than 24 hours in the last trade, which is unfortunate. Let's take a look at another market. We can add another market simply by this. Market is good. Let's take a look. Where's my here? Okay, we can take a look at open BTC against BTS. And now what you get is a structure with two tickers actually. It's interesting. Why is this last is also minus one? Maybe there's something wrong in the code. I'm not sure. It makes no sense to me. Obviously, there's still a bug somewhere in the code. I've tested this earlier. Okay, better not take a look at the last. I need to check this first. Okay, anyway, this is how it in general works. And besides this return ticker, there are some other methods you can call, and we can take a look at them. For instance, those in the source code that start with a bottom dash are not very important for us. These are more like private methods that are used internally most of the time. And the interesting stuff starts over here. We can do a return currencies, for instance. This gives you should give you a list of like the objects in Bitshares that are involved. So we have the USD in here, we have the BTS, we get the BTS, and we get the OBITs. Focus again on this market here. We get two assets. One is, unfortunately, I can scroll here. One is USD and the other is BTS. Okay, those are basically just interesting to get data from the blockchain themselves about the assets involved. Like the precision is very important. Like we can take a look at here. I don't like the term. We can go tokens, get the USD token and the precision. And that should give us a 4 or a 5 or something. A 4. Okay, so the precision is, or if you want to do something with them, you usually just do like this. And yeah, a US dollar on the blockchain is divisible by 10K. Okay, that's what you use the return currency for. There's another thing that is called return fees. That gives you the fees, the flat fees in Bitshares. Some assets do involve a fee that is that's a percentage fee on the market. Those are not included over here because they depend on the assets traded. Yeah, those fees here are denoted in BTS. And as you can see, there are flat fees for, yeah, like transfer from blind costs here a fixed 30 BTS plus a little. And then there are fees like price per output. This is a very stealth feature. And of course, there are stuff like price per kilobyte. You could derive them on your own, but there's an assisting method from the witness note that can help you with that. Okay. Now, fees, the ticker, let me find the error here. Oh, I think I know what the issue here is. I think for the ticker you need to run your own witness node, because the API history, the history API is not no, it is accessible from the. Okay, maybe I need to take a look what's wrong over here. Okay, anyway, there's also stuff like return 24-hour volume. We can give that a try. 24-hour volume. These methods here usually are always using what you define over here in the watched markets. Some methods require a specific market to be provided as a parameter. We'll come to see some over here, return order books. But in general, we take a look at the markets over here, and they all return a structure that has the markets as a sub unit in these dictionaries. So yeah, this is the trading volume of in the USD BTS market, denoted in the currencies. Let's see, is this correct? I think it is correct. Yeah, looks fine to me. Yeah. Okay. Return order books. We can limit this by, let's just limit it by 2 or so. And yeah, this is pretty much the same thing as you would expect from Poloniex API. The first one is the price, and the second one is the amount of the order trade, of the stuff traded. Yeah. Okay, balances. That's now something a little different. Return balances. That's a little different because it involves only the account, and it will give you all the balances of that account. And as you can see from the blockchain, it is pre-funded with some BTS, 10K BTS. Okay. Return open order IDs. We currently don't have any open order, but we can put one. Let's mark. Let me take a look over here. And then we can also, of course, yeah. Oh, yeah. Open order IDs gives you just the IDs if you want to cancel something, and open orders gives you the actual open orders, including the IDs. And some stuff like, is it a buy or a sell, or what's the price, and stuff like that. It looks like this. The trade history can also be given. Let's take a look at your trade history. Of course, then the trade history of USD against BTS, and you can also limit this by 5 or something. These should be the 5 last trades in the BTS USD market. Looks about right. Okay. Now let's get to the more interesting stuff. Let me. Sorry about that. Let me open up screens here again. Okay, so we see again on the right side there's our account, and now we're going to open up a buy order. X buy, and we buy in a market that is USD BTS. Now there's an interesting part. USD BTS, and this is unfortunately a little different in the exchange. Yeah. So the price here is, we can take a look. If you for instance, if you just take a look here at print index.return ticker, and you will see what the prices should be and how they are derived, and we will see that the highest bid is this one. And we could, of course, take this highest bid as ticker USD BTS, highest bid, and we could buy the highest bid. And then we state the amount, and the amount is in USD. So we say we buy 1 USD at the highest bid. Thinking about it, it may be the lowest ask. Anyway, give it a try. So, okay. Oh, my fault. First. Okay. So this is the transaction. It's going to be signed. So anyone could just pick it and broadcast it. The exchange, the script is currently not broadcasting it, but it is giving a error message or a warning message that we're currently in safe mode and we're not buying anything or selling anything unless we put the safe mode to false. And that's what we're going to do now. Yes. So now there's a transaction going out, and we can see here an open order of 1 USD at 173. That's exactly what is over here also. So this is another highest bid. These are the bid sides. This is the ask side. And now what we can do is we can take a look at the open orders. And DEX.return open orders. And we will see our open order, amount to sell, that is the BTS, amount to buy. Okay, there's really something going on here. I have changed a little in the backend concerning the price derivation. It seems there's still a bug in the return open orders calculation for these amounts over here. I'll fix them later. So there's probably going to be another release to fix these issues here. Okay. Anyway, the order ID should be there as well, and that is this one here. And we're going to use that to cancel our order. X cancel order. And then our order is gone again, as we can see in the open order list. Okay. Of course, we can now use the lowest ask instead. Lowest ask instead and buy up a token 1 USD. Interestingly, the spread is now 0, let's say. I should have tested this. There seems to be a Satoshi off or something, which results in this order not being filled. It is unfortunate. As you can see, in Graphene, prices are always denoted in, we can take a look here, this the buy method. And the buy method has calls the sell asset, and in the sell asset we have a amount to sell, and we don't have an amount to buy, but we have a minimum amount to buy. That gives you the fact that it's walking the order book, and it gives you also, the thing is also that you have the price derived as a ratio of 2 amounts. And depending on how you look at the market and how you invert, whether you invert prices, you may make a mistake by 1 Satoshi. Maybe I should take a look at this to make it more consistent in this case. Okay, anyway, our order is still there, and it made our market have a spread of 0, fortunately. We can still cancel it over here, and if we, okay, the price is, if we multiply this by 1% or something, and the order should go through and be executed. Okay, now we have here my trades. Orders, my trades. Oh, here, bought USD. And here is my orders, my executed orders. Okay, now we can take a look again at our balance. And a little more than 1 USD because of this price. Yeah, maybe I should take a closer look at how to make this more consistent here. so that you really end up with 1 USD and not with a little more. Okay, anyway, that's the idea. There are some other methods, of course. Instead of buying an asset, you can, of course, also sell an asset, which is essentially the same thing, except that these two prices are rotated. Here we have quote by base, and here we have base to quote. Okay, buy and sell is the same. Now we're going to take a look at smart coins. Here. Our account does not have any call orders yet, that we will see when we do a expert debt positions. But we can create a new debt position by borrow. So we're going to next borrow something, and that should be in USD, for instance, or let's say, I think 10 USD is okay. 10 USD, and we need a collateral ratio over here, and we say the collateral ratio should be 3.0. Execute this. Over here, count. Here. And zap, here is our new collateral position with a collateral ratio of 3 and 10 USD. You can also see this from over here. If we list our debt positions, we have 10 USD. Collateral is BTS, as for most smart coins. The collateral amount is this one, same as here. This is our call price and the collateral ratio. And this is the settlement price. This is also still a little inconsistent. It's not inconsistent, but there is no market here, so this is always against BTS, and then this is the price in US dollar that a BTS must reach so that your position is called. Okay. Now we can, of course, also adjust our collateral ratio, because if you're not satisfied or prices move somewhere, we can adjust it, and we only need the symbol and the new ratio. And it will automatically try to get all the BTS required to fulfill this new collateral ratio. We're now at 4, and as you can see, the collateral here rose a little. If you don't have enough collateral or not enough BTS, then the script will most certainly fail. An exception. Not enough funds available. I would need more than 500,000 BTS, and I don't have that many. Okay. Then, of course, there's also the possibility to close a collateral position. We can close USD, and then we will get back our BTS. Good. Just collateral ratio. Yeah, we can also adjust our debt. So let's start over again. We have a borrow position, a call position for 10 USD, and we need 10 more. What we do is adjust debt, and we say we want to have a delta. We can say we want to have 5 more USD, and the collateral should still be at 3. So we execute this over here. So we will get 15 USD now, and the collateral is still at 3. We can also reduce it again by, let's say, we reduce this by minus 10 USD because we want parts of our collateral back, and we want to go to collateral ratio of 2.5. And what we get is a $5 and a 2.5 collateral ratio, and the rest is paid back into BTS. Okay. Just collateral ratio, we had that, yes, I had that. Then there's of course a cancel. I think we canceled already this order here. There's also a withdraw operation, but that's not implemented because, yes, as you can read, it makes absolutely no sense. And there are some other methods that might be useful. For instance, get lowest ask. Take a look if this is consistent at least. Okay, this is the lowest ask. It's on this side. It's 178.25 and it's 11,000 BTS. Okay, there's another thing I need to fix. Okay, at least I have something to do for today. Same thing goes for the lowest bid. And then there's stuff like that might be useful for those that bots go in the USD BTS market. Yeah, it's a price, let's say 180, and bits less than 180. Let's see. Okay, here they are. Limited by 25. There's also a ask more than. Maybe I should have the same thing as well. I can do this also for my own orders. And then there's something that is called bits out of range. That's pretty much like you define a price, give a tolerance, and as you can see over here, the tolerance is given in the actual price. So you go at that price plus minus 10 or something. It's not percentage, it's the actual price value. And if that price goes above the tolerance, then you get those orders that are out of range, your own orders that are out of range. And of course, there are stuff that cancels those orders automatically or after getting them. Okay, there is one more neat feature, and that is you do something here, and you don't want to. You actually don't have control over the account, but for instance, you want to propose something for the committee account. What you do is see what thing is actually called. I can't remember. Propose only. Okay, if you have a new parameter, that's called propose only. And you can do here stuff now. This stuff. And it won't execute. All it will do is, oops. Ask here. All it will do is it will collect all of these operations. Okay, I still don't have that much here. What's up here? What happened to my? Okay, just that. +1 collateral of okay. Okay. So we will only see the actual operations. Hey, I see my cover operation here. This is weird. Okay. I see only the operation over here, and if I want to execute this, I can go over here and say, actually propose what I have just done. That would then construct the transaction, and it will not transmit it over here because we have the safe mode still enabled. So this is the operation that I'm doing, I'm proposing, and this is then the actual proposal. That way we can put several orders into one proposal and have people approve just a set of operations and not just every single operation. Okay, so I think I'm done for now with how these methods work. There's a lot of documentation within the code itself, like most stuff is documented quite well. I will fix these issues with the last price and this one here, as well as the open order thing. That's probably related. And after that, I'm certainly going to announce it in the forum that this is fixed. So I'm through for now. Are there any questions? Something that I should take a little more, go into more detail. Jonathan. Okay. Yeah, this thing is going to be put in YouTube automatically. And unless there are no questions about this, I'm probably going to stop broadcasting now and see you in the next Hangout. Next Hangout, once all these bugs are fixed, I will probably... Okay, let me make one thing clear. There's no bug in buying, selling, and borrowing things, because that has been tested quite thoroughly by me. The only bugs that might be related are those that are getting something from the blockchain and representing the data more clearly. For instance, the return ticker here. As you can see, this is quite a lot of code, and obviously I made something wrong over here. I'm going to look into it, and the same thing is true for the, where is it? Get lowest ask stuff. Seems I need to put a little more thought into how to structure code, and maybe I'm going to do remove some redundant code parts. Okay. Anyway, it was a pleasure talking to you. See you soon.
Take care.
Yeah. Thanks.